Yes. Hari Om, good morning to everyone. Good evening to you, Suma. Let us start with the prayer, today's session. नारायणसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मविधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। ॐ Yes. So we are in Purushottama Yoga, chapter 15 of the Bhagavad Gita, almost towards the end. All that has to be said has been said by Bhagavan. Yet here we are waiting to cover 3 more chapters. So let us see what Bhagavan will tell us today. And I think we should chant all the previous shlokas and come to 15.7, which is today's shloka. What do you say, people? Shall we do that? Okay. I shall share the screen. Okay. Sorry for the confusion. Yes. Now, each of us can chant one shloka. The first one is Urdhva Moolam Adashakam. Who will chant this? Anyone?
I'll go.
Yes, Indra. Carry on.
ऊर्ध्वमूलमदशाकम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम्
Chandansi
छन्दस्य
Yasya
पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्.
Good. So you read the meaning also so that we are clear what's happening.
Meaning, screen is not being shared, Purnimaji. I'm not having a meaning.
It is shared or not, people? Can you see the screen?
No.
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Oh,
So
I'm not able to see the screen.
They speak of an eternal Ashwatha tree with its roots above and branches below. Its leaves are the Vedic hymns, and one who knows the secret of this tree is the knower of the Vedas. This is the first thing we discuss. So, similar shloka in the Katha Upanishad. ऊर्ध्वमूर्लो वाक्शाकः एष अश्वतः सनातनः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेव अमृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाः स्थिताः सर्वे तदु नार्येति कश्चन ये तद्वै तत् roots up and branches down is this ancient Ashwatha tree. Its source is pure, that is Brahman, and that alone is immortal. On that do all the worlds depend, and none pass beyond that. This is verily that. Okay, this is the supplementary shloka from Katha. Now, this is we have done this at length, so anyone can chant this. 15.5, beautiful shloka. Yes, who has practiced it like Nirmala had put a challenge last time? Anyone?
निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्मुक्तैः
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्तः सुखदुःखसङ्गै गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययं तत्
निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा आध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता
सुखदुःखसङ्गैः
सुखदुःखसङ्गैर्गच्छन्त्यमूढाः
गच्छन्त्यमूढाः
पदमव्ययं
पदमव्ययं
तत्.
तत्.
What a beautiful shloka. It says those who are free from vanity and delusion, those who have overcome the evil of attachment, those who dwell constantly on the self and on God, and who are free from the desire to enjoy the senses and are beyond the dualities of pleasure and pain, such liberated personalities attain my eternal abode. Okay, next. Yes. Yes, this is also we have done 15.6. Anybody wants to chant this?
Yeah.
Yes.
न तद् भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न विवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम.
Beautiful. Yes. Neither the sun nor the moon nor the fire can illumine that supreme abode of mine. Having gone there, one does not return to this material world again. Yadgatva na nivartante. So we have seen this at length, and this is this light which is being spoken about in this shloka is a physical light or a metaphorical figurative light. It is
non-physical light.
non-physical. It is a figurative light, which is the light of the self, which is the dark light. It cannot be seen unless there is an object. Like how in space, it's dark in space. It's dark, totally dark. Nothing can be seen. Unless an object comes, only then it is lit up. Imagine, only a comet comes or a planet comes or a satellite moves, that satellite, that object will be lit up. That is what the Atma Jyoti is doing. That is what the light of the self is doing. It is lighting up objects that object to it, that come in front of it. Otherwise, by itself, it cannot be seen. It cannot see itself. It can see itself only through the medium of an object. And who will be able to see the object? Only the sentient being. Because the sentient being has the body, the sharira, the antahkarana, to reflect that light. It's like a mirror. A rock cannot reflect. Only a mirror can reflect sunlight. Like that, sentient beings can reflect. And only the human being, the human sentient being, can reflect on the reflected light. Nobody else can do it. Yes. Now we are going to the next verse, chosen verse, which is 15.7. Now all of us have to chant this. Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabhutah sanatanaha manashashtanindriyani prakritisthani karshati. Manapshastastan indriyani prakritisthani karshati. Manaha shashtani indriyani. Yes, that is the split there. Yes, Nirmala.
Mamaivamsho jivabhute Namaivamsho jiva loke jivabhutas sanatanaha manasashtanindriyani prakritisthani karshati.
Yes. Next.
Can I go?
Yes, please, welcome.
ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति.
Very good, very nice. Next.
ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनुष्याणीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति.
Very nice, Rama.
ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति.
Very good.
ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतसनातनः मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति.
Very good. Indra. Indra, Padmaja.
I'm not able to see the screen, Purnimaji. It's nothing, only your picture is there.
Okay. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke. You can repeat. Can you?
Yes, Purnimaji. Mamai.
Mamai Vansho Jiva Loke.
Mamai Vansho Jiva Loke.
Jiva Bhutas Sanatanaha.
Jiva Bhutas Sanatanaha.
Manashashtanindriyani
Manashashtanindriyani
Prakrutisthani Karshati.
Prakritisthani Kashyati.
Okay.
Thank you.
Shweta.
Yes, Purnimaji.
Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke.
Mama Vamshe Jiva Loke.
Mamai Vansho
Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke.
Jiva Bhutas Sanatanaha.
Jiva Bhutosthana Sanatanaha.
Manashashtani
Manashashtani
Indriyani
Indriyani
Prakrutisthani
Prakritisthani
Karshati.
Kashyati.
Yes. Padmaja, you want to chant? Are you there?
Yes,
Yes.
I will.
Okay.
ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूता सनातना मनः षष्ठानि इन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति.
Okay. So, who else is there? So, what does it say? The embodied souls in this material world are my eternal fragmental parts. Mamaiva amshaha jiva idam loke. In this loka, whatever jivas are there, mamaiva amshaha. They are all my fragments. Jiva bhutaha. That is all of us. All the sentient beings are my amshaha. And they are sanatanaha. They are eternal. We are all eternal. Though we are fragments, Krishna is calling us fragments here. All these jivas are sanatanaha. Manaha shashtani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. But they are struggling. Karshana is happening. Why? Prakriti. All these indriyas and the manas, they are all prakriti. And this jiva is struggling with the mind and the sense organs. Senses, including the mind, the jivas are struggling. Why? Because they are all made of prakriti. They are made of material nature. That is why the struggle is happening. So basically, what is being told in this shloka? Any manana on this people want to do? Did anybody do any manana on this? So Krishna is declaring here that I am in all the jivas. He is declaring his presence in the world. He has done that several times during the entire Bhagavad Gita. He is doing again the same. And here he is making a clear distinction between Prakriti and Purusha. So what in me is Prakriti, what in the Jiva is Prakriti, what in me is the Purusha? Let us spell it out because Krishna is spelling it out here. Yes, anyone? What am I a mixture of? Prakriti and Purusha. What in me is Prakriti, what in me is Purusha? Hello? Nobody wants to volunteer with the answer. Helappa, anyone? Padmaja.
What is Prakriti and what is Purusha?
In the Jiva. Jivatma.
Prakriti is all anything that is related to your sense organs. Any kind of attachment, any kind of fear, raga, dvesha, everything comes under Prakriti. Purusha is your sthita prajna, establishment. No?
I mean, you have the general idea, but the proper definition we want here. Anyone else?
Purusha is the consciousness.
Ashte. Purusha is the consciousness. Purusha is the Atma Jyoti. Padmaja.
Okay.
So that is, those terms are also used in Sankhya Yoga, especially for consciousness. The term used is Purusha. Okay, and the entire manifest world is called as Prakriti. What is the manifest world? How do you define that which is the manifest? What is it? What is the difference between manifest and this unmanifest? We had so many definitions. Any one you can.
All the Panchabhutas put together with Maya is Prakriti.
Ashte. Correct. All the Panchabhutas, all the entire manifest universe is made of Prakriti, which is nothing but just 5 elements, the Panchabhutas. The gross, the subtle, and the causal body. Everything is made of the Panchabhutas. The gross body, of course, we can see. The gross universe, of course, we can see. It's all Panchabhutas. The subtle is also Panchabhutas. All the same Panchabhutas are in a subtle form. So even in my dream state, everything that I see in my dream is also made of the Panchabhutas. That is also matter. That is also Prakriti. And in the causal state, everything has gone back into the seed form. But it is still there, ready to sprout up again the next morning. Again, the Panchabhutas are inherent in the unmanifest also. So this is Prakriti. And what we are doing, what Ishvara is telling here is, Jiva is a mixture of Ishvara and Prakriti. Jiva is me, this body. This body with consciousness is called the Jiva, Jivatma, to be very specific, Jivatma. So I am a mixture of Jiva, Prakriti and consciousness, Purusha and Prakriti. This Purusha is borrowed from where? From Bhagavan. From Krishna, the Purusha, the consciousness in me is borrowed from Bhagavan. And then the material body is borrowed from Prakriti, Shiva and Shakti. Mata, Pita are only Shiva and Shakti for me. Shiva is given me sentience and Prakriti is giving me the body to experience the sentience. Simple. And so what is happening is, the body or this body-mind complex is mistaking itself for sentience. It is not. It is just matter. It is jada. That we have very clear, no? The body-mind complex and the entire manifest universe is jada. Unless it is lit up by consciousness, it is Shiva is, when the Shiva leaves the body, it is Shava only. There is no sentience there. So basically what we have to understand throughout all of Vedanta is declaring is, you are not this body mind which you think you are. The body mind which you think you are is just dead matter. It doesn't matter. Only the sentience in you, which is permanent, which is always there, is you. That is Ishvara, and you are Ishvara. And here Krishna is also saying, Mamaiva amshaha jiva bhutaha. Why amshaha? See, here there are two conflicting statements. He is saying, you are my amsha. Amsha means you are a part. At the same time, he is saying it is sanatanaha also, it is eternal part. Okay. So, if I am a part of Bhagavan, will Bhagavan become any less? Imagine 84 lakh yonis and thousands and millions of universes are there. Everything is the Paramatma's amsha. So is Paramatma Bhagavan becoming any less because we have taken away from him so many parts? Is he any less?
No,
No. Why? Why, why,
because
why,
he's
why?
Paramatma.
Yeah, correct. He is Paramatma. And you have to recall this shloka. Which is the shloka that you can recall, Nirmala? Here. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. So in this shloka, what is being said? Purnam adaha. That Paramatma is Purnam. Purnam idam. Idam means this manifest world is also Purnam. And this manifest world is taken from that Purnam. Purnasya Purnamadaya. From that Purna, when this Purna comes out, Purnameva Vashishyate. Only Purna only remains. From infinity, you take out anything, it will still remain infinite. Infinity can never be reduced. Okay? That is what Paramatma is declaring here. Infinity can never be reduced. It is all, you know why? Basic bottom line, why it is not reduced is because it is all an appearance. It is all simply Maya. Yes, Nirmala.
There is an ocean, and many rivers come and join it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't become full. It is what it is, and it just joins it. How is that possible? Same way, sun is there. And there are 10 buckets in my backdrop. In all that, the 10 suns are
Reflected.
reflected.
Correct. Beautiful. Yes.
That doesn't mean, the sun has been broken into 10 pieces and put in the bucket. No,
Correct. It is a reflection.
just a shadow.
Ashte.
Just a shadow.
Mm.
So, like that,
Yeah.
this is one.
Mm.
The other Prakriti Purusha example is one cell the husband gives,
Yeah.
and it is fleshed up by the mother.
Right.
There is only one Brahman, that is one consciousness. It is made beautifully with a lot of color, this thing, that fleshed up by Prakriti.
Correct. Fleshed up by
Now you can imagine very well. There is only one Brahman.
Only one Brahman.
And Brahman is there in the stone, it's there in the trees, it's there in animals, it's there in birds, it's there in fish, it's there in humans,
Mosquitoes, don't forget.
mosquitoes,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But what is the thing? That consciousness is there in all of this. Consciousness plus name and form.
Correct.
This consciousness is Purusha. Name and form is Prakriti.
Yes. Correct. Perfectly said. Perfectly beautifully explained. And so, yeah, why is Krishna is saying I am a khanda, I am a part of him, but yet I am akhanda. How? So another example, like how Nirmala said, imagine lot of pots. Imagine lot of pots. The space inside the pot is me. The space inside the pot is this pot is the body, and inside is the sentience, that akasha is there. Okay, the space inside the pot is called as ghatakasha. Pot means ghata. Akasha is space. Space here in this is a metaphor for sentience, consciousness. So chidakasha, and the outside space, the same space is continuing outside also. That is the chidakasha, chit akasha, the outer space. So ghatakasha, chidakasha, the space inside the room and the space in the entire house and the space outside the house. Like that. Separations are there, but the space is only one. Can you cut space? Can you khanda? Can you cut it up? Can you cut up the space? Apparently it looks as if it's cut up. It's a kitchen, this is a hall, this is a bathroom, this is a living room. The space is apparently cut up. This is my side, this is the neighboring house. No, but you just raise everything. One earthquake, one tsunami, everything is flattened, everything is the same space. That is how one has to understand that as a part also I am akhanda. Actually, I think I am being restricted by this ghata, by this pot or the BMI, but I am not. I am akhanda along with the entire universe. Chidakasha, Ghatakasha. Clear, no? Chidakasha and Ghatakasha. Chit is the entire everything that is everything outside, supposed to be outside in quotes. Everything outside me is Chit. Inside me is also the same Chit. But I feel it is Ghata. That's all. So this body is called as the Upadhi in Vedanta. All the bodies, 84 lakh yonis in which Bhagavan manifests is called an Upadhi. So I have a human being Upadhi, I have a kangaroo Upadhi, Bhagavan has a mosquito Upadhi, Bhagavan has a blue whale Upadhi. 84 lakh Upadhis are there for Bhagavan. That's why he is saying all these are parts of me, but I am Akhanda. Sanatanaha, Akhanda and Sanatana. Always it's there. This universe has no beginning, no end. That is why it is called as Sanatana. We also discussed Samsara Vriksha is eternal. Goes on and on and on and on and on. Eternal. Okay. So the Jivatma is none other than my own expression, my part, my fragment, everything, and it's eternal. So what is the takeaway for me is I understand myself to be that Chidakasha only. I am the space, outer space. I am consciousness, and I am not a dash between birth and death. Birth date, death date, dash. That is what we put on an epitaph. That this date, birth date and death date belongs to the body. That's all. But what is happening in this shloka? What is God is saying? You idiot, you are me only, but you are struggling with this body, mind, sense complex. So when you think that the body, mind, sense complex is dead, which means when the consciousness leaves the body becomes dead. That's all. You are not dead, but you think, or the others around you think you are dead. Your family thinks you are dead. No. The sentience can never die. There is no death for consciousness. There is no birth, there is no death for consciousness. Only the upadhis change. Upadhi means this cloak of the jiva, body-mind complex, they change. So in this shloka, Bhagavan is saying, Prakruti sthani karshati. Karshati means at the time of death. This is actually, Krishna is talking about what happens at the time of death. Prakriti is so strong, that is Maya. Another name for Prakriti is Maya. Is so strong that she's pulling you, she's pulling the consciousness towards herself. This is you, Anta. Karshati, Akarshana is happening. And that Gharshana is happening because of the confusion between body, mind and consciousness. Okay, so the 6 Shashtani, Manaha Shashtani Indriyani. Along with the 5 senses and the mind, it is Shashta. 6 things are disturbing me and causing trouble for during my entire life until I come to Jnana. So what happens is, when the jiva leaves the body, yes, Nirbala?
Now,
Yeah,
if I die now, what happens?
yes.
The through the Sushumna Nadi, all the Panchendriyas and Sukshma, all the Sukshma Panchendriyas and the Manas will leave the body.
Pancha pranas also.
Pancha Pranas.
19
All the-
elements. You spell everything now that you have started this discussion. 19 things are taken from me. Tell what are they?
Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Prana.
Yes.
15 ho gaya.
Ah.
And then Char Antakarna.
Ah. Mana, buddhi, chitta,
Mana,
ahankara.
Buddhi,
19.
Ahankara.
Yes,
19.
19. Yes.
All this
Yes.
is taken along with me for my next Janma.
Yes.
So I have attended this Bhagavad Gita class.
Hmm.
So what happens
Mm.
now? The Prakriti has to plant me only in a place
Mm.
where this Bhagavad Gita will continue for me.
Ade.
I cannot become a buffalo unless and until it is Jnaneshwar's buffalo.
Right.
Okay?
Correct.
Who chanted Bhagavad Gita.
Correct.
No. But otherwise, I'll have to take a human birth
Yeah.
because that's where I can still continue my Bhagavad Gita class.
Correct.
So, by attending this Bhagavad Gita class, what am I assuring myself is another human birth.
Mm. Yes.
So,
In a
Okay,
conducive
this is-
atmosphere. That too.
yes, it is very confusing. I will
Conducive
tell you very,
atmosphere.
very easily, I will understand. You people will all understand when I tell you this example.
Ah.
I am going to take the motherboard and put it into another computer.
Yes.
That computer, unless and until it is the latest version, this motherboard will not work.
Very good. It has to have the latest software. Mm.
Yes. So,
The hardware should have the proper software.
yes.
Ah.
So the combination has to be so perfect.
Yes.
So that is why
Mm.
whatever vasana you develop, accordingly you will move on.
Mm.
Nothing is going to change.
Nothing is going to change.
It's only the shell which is going to be changed.
Yes.
This Nirmala shell will go into another shell, which will be called Indra.
No, she won't go. She is going to be Jeevan Mukta. All of
Arre
us.
wah.
Yeah. ठीक है, ठीक है.
So this is no just to make
Yes, yes,
people
absolutely.
understand
Yeah, yeah.
how all this process is happening is it will through the Sushumna Nadi, the Jiva will take the Pancha Prana, Panchendriyas,
Yes.
Panchendriyas,
Jnanendriyas.
Sukshma form. Sukshma form.
All Sukshma only here.
All Sukshma only. The gross part of it will be supplied by the next shell.
Ashte. Simple. Yes.
So, if I have the intelligence of a plant, I will be deposited into plant next. If I have the intelligence or the tendencies of an animal, I will be implanted into an animal body.
If I behave like a donkey in this life, Bhagavan will say, oh, ho, ho, she likes donkeyness. So I'll become a donkey in my next life.
Yes.
Ashte.
You make your choices. You
Yes.
yourself make your choices
With my
by your behavior. The Vasana
Vasana.
package will give you the next chance.
If I
You
love
go
to
along
just
with your-
if I love to just eat and sleep,
I'll be a
Bhagavan-
pig.
or a python. Whatever comes my way, I will swallow. I won't even move out of my place.
Even in that, there is particular thing. If I am a non-hurting type of a person, I will go into a pig yoni. If I am a person with a little,
Tamas.
Sharpness with my tongue. I will be born as a python.
See
So many features.
how
There
subtle
are
it is.
many. Just if I go and fill up a form, and they say it is a man or a woman or a married woman or a mother with children, single status, all that you tick, no?
Tick the
Like that, your
boxes.
features will be ticked, tick, 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 tick.
Many boxes will be
Accordingly,
ticked.
accordingly, a yoni will be found for you.
Chitra and Gupta, they're sitting on your shoulders. No, that is what our Indian mythology says. These two minions of Yama Dharmaraya are sitting here, Chitra and Gupta. So
Who are
they're-
they?
Huh?
Who are they?
The servants of Yamaraja.
Okay.
Chitra.
What are the features of Chitra and Gupta?
Chitra and Gupta are making a note of all the actions. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa actions are being noted by Chitra Gupta. Whatever you think also is being noted. It might not, you might not express it, but Chitra Gupta, they are also very subtle. So they can understand what is subtly happening in the mind. This is how the Puranas describe, this transmigration stuff. And so they'll make a note.
Chitragupta.
Chitragupta.
Chitra and Gupta, they are so precise in their description.
Yeah.
Chitra is, he will picturize perfectly
the entire thing. That is why it's called Chitra.
Chitra. Gupta is very subtle. He knows, he will go inside out of you and find the inside part of you. What you may also not know. He will just, make a diagram of you so beautifully.
Yeah, blueprint is there.
Yeah, he is the Jimmy the Cricket inside you.
Yeah.
Like in Pinocchio, Jimmy the Cricket was a conscience keeper, no? Like that, this Gupta is very secretive fellow, and he can keep the, he can draw an essence of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me who is Nirmala? Huh? You ask him. Chuck, 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 chuck.
Correct. So they will go and report to Yamadharmaraya. And that fellow will decide, this Jiva has to go. This is where the other, this is the next conducive place where this can be planted. So that is how.
In this world, nothing is an accident.
Nothing is an accident. Absolutely.
Everything to the last T has been
worked out,
drawn, explained. As Prabhuji says, it is already, we have posted a business reply letter already for yourself.
Yeah.
And that is what you receive next Janma.
Correct.
You have already sent it. The letter you have already sent it. You yourself have sent it.
Yes.
Now, anything wrong happening? What? This God is not even doing anything for me. I have done so much for God. I don't know why He is just testing me. All wrong.
All wrong.
You yourself have such. Anything happens, there is a seed inside you, which is germinating and becoming like this.
Yeah. Perfect. So, for this shloka, there is one more shloka which explains more about this, how the jiva, how it goes and deposits in another sharira. Bhagavan has given this beautiful description he is given. This is not among the selected shlokas, but still is very interesting. Shariram yadabapnoti yacchapi utkramit shravaha. I'm sorry. Shariram yad avapnoti yacchapi utkramati shravaha. गृहीत्वा तानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धान् इवाशयत्. See, it's a very beautiful description. He says, yes, Nirmala, you want to chant that properly?
Shariram yadavapnoti yacchapyutkramati. And then what that's next?
Grihitvaitani sanyati.
Vayurgandhani vashayat. You know what it is? Just like how the wind, you're just standing. Suddenly from nowhere, beautiful honeysuckle fragrance will come.
Fragrance will
How,
come.
how does it come? The wind has carried that
Mm.
beautiful fragrance.
Yes.
Like that, your subtle nature
Mm.
mixes in the air.
Yes.
And then it is called Panchagni Yajna.
Mm.
First, from here, you will take a Yatana Sharira. You will take a Sukshma travel body.
Yeah.
And then they will burn you.
Mhm.
Then you will be mixed in water.
Mhm.
Then you will go up in the sky.
Mm.
You become clouds.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you will rain.
Yes.
When you're raining, you
And-
have to be fortunate to be either not falling in the desert,
Or
because
in
if you fall in the desert, you might maximum become a cactus plant.
cactus, nobody is going to eat it.
Nobody is the camel eats.
Oh, okay.
Okay, or you should not be born.
In water.
You should not fall on the mountains.
Mountains or water.
Water, or and even if you fall in the water and one man eats you, he's a very old man. That thing is that
Useless.
potency is wasted.
It cannot
Or
germinate.
if it's
It cannot produce the body.
It cannot. And if it is eaten by a small child, wasted. So it has to be from the age of somewhere
Reproductive.
near
Yeah.
15 to 55 or something like that. There are freak cases after and before. That's their issue. But this is the usual. This period has to be consumed.
Mm.
So it is like a fish
Mm.
blind in the water has to find a particular one plant, one mossy plant, which it has to eat. What is the probability? Tell me.
Mm.
That's how improbable is for us to be born again as a human. That is why they say to be human, born as a human,
Blessing.
is so rare. It's so precious. You've already got it. Don't waste it,
Yes.
because you don't know after how many, maybe after this, I become an animal.
Yeah.
After that, I will, like this, it will go on and on and on.
Yeah.
And after 10 janmas, I'll be again born as a human.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So-
Perfectly explained, Nirmala. Thank you so much. So this is what this 15.8 is saying. As the air carries the fragrance from place to place, as Eva, it is not exactly that air is carrying the Jiva. It is just like how the air carries the fragrance from place to place. The essence of this body-mind complex, which is consciousness, which is the subtle body, is carried. So does the embodied soul carry the mind and senses with it. The subtle body is carried from this jiva, from this body, and it leaves an old body and enters a new body, and a child is born. Isn't it beautiful? When I see a beautiful new child which is being born, so innocent, nothing, pure tabula rasa, it's very blank and pure. But once the
I don't know. Some time ago, there was an advertisement. I don't know whether anybody has seen it. The baby is going to be born, and from up, the baby is telling Brahma, I don't want to go into this mother. I don't want to be born for this mother, to this mother. Why? Because there is no Wi-Fi connection, it seems. In this house, there is no Wi-Fi connection. So I don't want to be born.
Yeah,
like that.
Cute.
So it is a very subtle combination. It's just like how you do particular number combination and open the lock of the door.
Yeah.
Like that it is.
Yeah.
It is so minute, so beautifully calculated precisely, and the baby is landing
So it's a
in the right
beautiful,
place, right
elaborate,
time.
subtle system which is being managed invisible to anyone, and we cannot even understand such a beautiful system is being managed by Ishvara. Utkramati, Ishvara withdraws the senses and, Gruhitva itani, Gruhitva, carrying all these senses, sense objects, etc., senses and panchendriyas and pranas, etc. It is like shifting to a new house, like how Nirmala explained, shifting to a new house. And there is one more little detail, let me add here. So, and all the pancha pranas, panchendriyas, jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, in the sukshma form, they are taken from the old body and deposited in the new body in their golakas, in their particular spaces.
Respective places.
The sense
Respective places.
like how if I'm shifting from an old house, everything is packed into boxes. In the new house, the kitchen stuff will go to the kitchen, the dining room stuff to there, and the bedroom stuff and the toiletries, they all go into their specific places. Like that, the jnanendriya, the senses will go to their specific. The eyes, sukshma eyes will go to the eye golaka, the holes. Golaka means the hole. It will go here, and the ears will go here, and the nose will go here. All the sukshma the sukshma indriyas are going to the gross indriya places properly. That is what in this shloka God is saying. They will
And it
take
is
their
done by which
sthanas.
prana?
Huh?
Udana.
Udana
prana?
is the one who is the
Udana.
carrier. Udana is the
Udana
carrier.
prana is the one
Yes.
takes up.
Yes. Yeah. So all this beautiful. So question is, and then he says, in the next body also, what does the jiva do? Enjoy or experience the manifest world. That's what we do from life to life. So who is the one who is enjoying? By the way, let somebody. Ishvara says, now in the new body also, you enjoy or experience the world. Who is experiencing is the question. Who is experiencing? Prakriti or Purusha? In the new body or in any upadhi, who is experiencing?
Prakriti.
Jiva.
Who said Prakriti?
Indra.
How Prakriti, Indra? Prakriti is jada, no?
Whatever is manifested is Prakriti. No?
Correct. Who will the Prakriti? Who can enjoy the Prakriti?
Jiva.
Jivatma. No? Jivatma. Correct. So
Prakriti by itself.
Prakriti cannot enjoy itself.
By itself, it is, if that Chetana, if
The
that
Chetana is not
life,
there.
life is not there, it is a Shava.
It cannot experience the manifest. Can a rock experience the world? No, because in it the Chetana is very subtle. It is supta. It is not yet awakened. And the plant can experience a little bit. And animals can experience the world a little more. And only the human being can experience it to totality. In a human body, Chetana can experience the world in totality. Ishvara can experience what is Krishna doing, experiencing
Not only experience. He can express, he can interact.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the plant cannot express.
Yeah, plant cannot express.
The animal can maybe slightly nod its head, say yes, like that, by barking,
Yes.
by giving a twinkle in the eye. That is the maximum we can do. But it is in human that we can totally express and totally
Awaken
interact with others. We are fully alive, awakened, expressed.
Yeah. So to the question, why does the Sukshma Sharira move from body to body? Questions are there. We all know, basically most of us know why the Sukshma Sharira is moving from one body to another body. Let us quickly come up with one answer, all of us. Why do we move, Suma?
Vasanas.
Because of the vasanas, number one. Because of the unfulfilled desires, I move from body to body, number one. Number two?
To fulfill all the prarabdha karmas.
Perfect. To fulfill the prarabdha, already so much fixed deposit is there, that has to be exhausted. So again, to fulfill the prarabdha karma, I move. Third purpose, the third number is there. One more very important reason why the Sukshma Sharira moves from body to body. Most important. Why?
This body has become useless.
ठीक है. Okay. So another fourth one is there. Important.
Because the body, we did not realize.
Ah.
Self-realization did not happen.
Yes, beautiful, Kamala. So, the purpose of human life or any birth is to evolve. Since the evolution process has to happen, whether in this body or the next body, or I don't know how long it will take. So, until the human being is, awakened to the fullest potential and realizes the true nature, this travel is going to happen. Unending journey. And only I can put a stop to it here and now. Very good. Unless I realize that I am not Prakriti, I am Purusha, I am Ishvara, all the other four reasons are dropped there and then. When I realize my true nature, prarabdhas are gone, desires are dropped and burnt, prarabdha karma is exhausted or given it away to other people. Evolution is complete, so there is no more travel. This is what it is. That's all. Beautiful. So, for the Jiva, for one who has not yet realized, how long will the Jiva, will the Sukshma Sharira hang here and there in other lokas? Until, how Nirmala explained, until the perfect atmosphere is found, it will still hang here and there in all these other lokas. It is that extreme punyatma and extreme papatma, very difficult for them to find a new body. Because the conditions have to be too much, too perfect for them to be born again. Like how that Dhritarashtra's story is there now, how he killed 100 little eggs, little birds were burnt by him. And so the curse was he should also experience the death of 100 children. So this Dhritarashtra had to wait for so many years and years and years before he could be born as a Raja. Only a Raja is allowed to have so many wives and have so many children. So all these beautiful things had to come together, and they had to be evil, so that they had to be killed. So extreme punyatma also very difficult to find a conducive atmosphere for him. So most of us are somewhere in between. Not anymore. We are all extreme punyatmas. So that is how it is. What else is there about in this shloka? Okay, that's all. Some questions about death. Some people ask, is it possible to know my past? Yes, definitely. Past life therapy, etc. Everything is there, but don't. The memory loss is there only for a good reason. If I knew my past, I wouldn't be able to live in the present. It's very difficult.
The little past I know of myself itself is disturbing me.
Ade.
Now, if I know my previous janma's past, I will be all messed up.
Messed up. Totally messed up.
So it's just like how a little lamb was dancing away to glory. The other side is a screen, and the other side is the man standing with a guillotine to cut his neck.
Cut his neck.
But this one is frolicking around and walking away as though the whole world
belongs to me.
It's enjoying. We all of us are doing like this.
Yeah.
And suddenly you hear, oh, that person died. Oh, yes, I saw him. He was fine. He was talking so nicely to me. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
So God is deliberately doing that to make us little peaceful and live a life, whatever it is worth.
Yes. This loss of memory is a blessing. No? Even in this life also, so many past hurts. If we go on carrying those past hurts, life is going to be miserable. That's why by each day, the hurt comes down. Isn't it? So that is one thing about memory. And then
They
another
say time is the best healer.
healer. Time is
In
the best healer.
time, you will forget.
Yes.
Only in time.
Yes.
Today, you cannot forget.
Yes.
Tomorrow, you cannot forget.
Yes.
In time, sometime, you might forget.
Yes. We will forget. And then another question usually asked about dead, about the dead is, where can I contact my Pitrus? Why? Don't do it. Why? Because that Sukshma Sharira is on its journey. And the journey is always about evolution. So it is not good to disturb, call them unnecessarily, and disturb
When my
their
father
journey.
died, when my father died, I was not able to digest it. I cried and cried and cried for many days, many months. And one day I met a sannyasi in Ramakrishna Mission,
Acha?
and I cried to him as usual. And he said, "Why are you crying like this, my dear?"
Ah.
I said, "My dear, my father, I was so close to him. I feel so bad." He said, "See, certain things I have to tell you. By crying, you know what you're doing? You're thwarting your father from going on his onward journey.
Absolutely. Yes.
And any which ways, even if your father comes back now, you're going to yell saying, 'Oh, ghost has come.' You're not going to accept it."
Pretatma has come off.
Okay, fine. Even if that is so, I will tell you something. You're just some 60 stops away before you yourself are going to die. What are you crying for, man? Why? I will tell you a solution how to solve this problem. I said, "Please, Swamiji, tell something to relieve me of this. It really weakens me after crying for so many days." He said, do one thing. Whenever you feel like really crying so much, sit down and, do japa. Do 1,000 japas. Make it a habit.
Best.
And by the time you finish the 1,000 japa, you're fully exhausted. No more time for crying. You go on with your next work. Believe it or not a tear I have shed after that day.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So solution for everything is just keep quiet and do japa. If you don't want to do japa, just observe. Go back to the witness. I am existence. Easiest. Ishvara is available 24/7 all the time. I just have to shut down my mind and my mouth and sit. That's all I have to do. Very beautiful. Go back to the Sakshi Bhava again and again and again and enjoy. Existence is there. See, the Agnani says, I am fed up of this existence, which is very, very, very stupid. The Gnani says, I am existence. What is there to be fed up of it? Can I be fed up of myself? In my essence? No. I can only revel in myself. I can only rejoice in my true nature. Only because I don't know my true nature, I get fed up of things. Yes. And one has to get fed up of the material things. That is when you become a mumukshu. That is also there. Yeah.
If I get fed up, I say, "Oh no, I don't like this. I want to commit suicide." Okay. You commit suicide.
Just now
What
we saw.
happens is, unless and until you complete that period, your prarabdha karma has a particular period.
It has to exhaust. Yeah.
Which has to exhaust. Until that time, you have to be a ghost. And you can't do anything. You will be watching everything going wrong. And he said, "Ayyo, why did I die early?
Do this?
I've missed an opportunity to correct."
Work out the karmas. Yeah.
So as well, sit here quietly and work it out.
Ashte. Okay, good. So this is about how Bhagavan himself is saying that if you don't realize yourself in this very lifetime, this is what is going to happen to you. It's a warning. We'll go on catching more bodies. That's all. All right. So for today, we can close and we can continue with next class is why this chapter is being chanted. in every, before every meal. And then we will continue with the rest of the shlokas. Okay. ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ